Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk about Eminem's Houdini clip that came out a couple of days ago. Because I've listened to it and I've watched the clip, and it's very reminiscent of Without Me, mixed with a little bit of The Real Slim Shady, and many different aspects. Just Lose It's in there a bit. There's a bit of everything in there. And after analysing it quite a bit, there was a part of me that was like, cool, it's cool to have M bring back a part of Slim Shady, like, because when after Relapse, he kind of shelved Slim Shady. And yes, Shady was there, he was in the Marshall Mathers LP too, like, Shady was still active, but it didn't really feel like Slim Shady, like the Slim Shady of old. Now, with Houdini, he's attempting to resurrect that aura, the Slim Shady aura. But there was a part of me watching that clip that was like, it kind of feels like a parody of himself. And I know, look, freaking love Eminem. But Eminem is this artist who, he doesn't need to be revisiting nostalgia. He can lead modern rap, and look, he is probably better than most rappers out there today. Like, he is still like a king to this generation. But he doesn't need to be doing this throwback stuff. He doesn't need to be doing, let's go back to Slim Shady. Eminem is massive just based on being Eminem. But I know this whole generation is going to say like, oh, this is perfect. We want to see Slim Shady back. It's great to see Slim Shady back. And look, there's a part of me that was watching that clip and was like, oh, it's Without Me. That's pretty cool. But I'm fearful that it's going to become a parody of himself. And none of us want that of Eminem. We all want him to be like, he's considered one of the GOATs at this point. Like, we don't need him to be doing stuff from 20, 30 odd years ago. And look, I'm not offended by any of the stuff Eminem says. Like, I don't mind it. I think he can say whatever he says in a rap song. Like, it's art at the end of the day. It's in the context of a rap song. Come on, like, if we can't make fun of ourselves as a society, well, what are we doing? But look, I do understand there's some things in there that some communities may have a problem with. I understand that. I understand why people have a problem with some aspects of Eminem's song. But it's like, it feels a bit in a way that, like, Eminem has lost a little bit of what he could rap about. Because, look, he's clean now. He's been clean for, like, almost, I think it's a decade, maybe even beyond a decade. I think it was, like, 14 years last time I heard. But he's been clean for a while. And Slim Shady was very much the persona that he used when he was in that space, in that headspace, in that mindset of when he was going through all that stuff. And obviously, look, after the whole thing with Proof happened, he changed, and we all know that he lost his closest friend. We know this. Like, it's, you could see the change there, and obviously Eminem had, at that time, like he did When I'm Gone, and, you know, he was trying to get clean, and for his, like, his kids and that, he was trying to get clean for family and to survive, because he needed to get away from it. But Proof passing away changed Eminem. And some people say for the better, for the worse. I think it was for the better because it got him clean, it got him off the substances, it got him off those. And a clean Eminem is what we all want. We all want him to be around for a long time. And I think that is great that he's off those and that he's in a great mindset. That said, I don't think we need to resurrect Slim Shady. I mean, this is what I mean. Eminem is so good, one of the best rappers on the planet, without the Slim Shady aura. And yes, the nostalgia sells. I get the nostalgia aspect of, let's just bring back Slim Shady. I get the nostalgia. But then you get into this territory of the parodies, and like, is he a parody of himself at this point? And look, people will come in and say, oh, but you're just a hater. You just don't like Eminem. It's like, dude, I've listened to every Eminem album up to like, what was the last one called? The Kamikaze. I've listened to them all. But the thing is, like, it was good to see him progressing, and like, it felt like he was growing and growing and growing, and it's like every album felt like it was a development. And yes, they're not all great, like, I get it. Like, there's some Eminem albums there that probably could have been better. But it was a development at least. It was like, okay, he's come from here, he's come here, and you can see the progression. And now it feels like he's kind of taking a step back to play into nostalgia, and maybe that's intentional. Like, as I said, I think it may be intentional. Maybe it's just a complete take on the industry of like, oh, well, you know, you guys just like things from 30 odd years ago, so here you go. So that might be the end game of what Eminem's pushing for. But I'm just worried that if it's not what he's actually pushing for and this is going to be the new persona, he needs to do Slim Shady different. It needs to be different to what Slim Shady was 30 odd years ago, because he can't do the same stuff. It's like, yes, it'd be a superhero to this generation, but we just don't want him to become a parody. We see what happens so often when certain things are brought back out of the cabinet and we're like, or brought back off the shelf and said, okay, we're going to do this again. Kiss have been making a career out of it, like for 30 odd years. And look, I went and saw a Kiss concert last year and I was like, cool, this is pretty cool. This is the same concert everyone's seen for the last 30 odd years, but it was my first Kiss concert, so it was like new to me. But that said, you don't want to become the nostalgic act. And I don't think Eminem needs to be the nostalgic act. I mean, he still releases some bangers here and there. And yes, Dre was in this song as well. Like Dre, I think, was 50 was in there. I don't know if Snoop was in there. But I could hear the verses and yeah, it was a proper song. But I'm just worried that I just don't want him to become a parody of himself, because I want to remember Slim Shady as like that guy from 20 odd, 30 odd years ago that like changed rap, and like you can still listen to him through Eminem, but it's a more developed, more mature Eminem that's like, that doesn't, like, he still says Eminem stuff, like it's still Eminem, but he does it in a way that like calls out people and like holds a mirror to society. Like that is what I love about it. And yes, it's not 30 odd years ago. It's not Marshall Mathers LP, but it's still something. It's still seeing a progression in that career of Eminem. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Houdini. Did you guys like it? What did you think about Eminem going back to Slim Shady? Like, yes, it's a bit of a throwback. Yes, nostalgia sells. But do you feel like he may risk becoming a parody of himself? And as I said, if anyone can make fun of themselves, it's probably Eminem. I think he's pretty cool with all that stuff. But like, I don't know if that was the intent. But as I said, love Eminem. Not a critique, just an observation about, I think I don't really know how to take what I've seen in Houdini. It's like, yes, it's a new Eminem song, and it's good beat. Like, you listen to the beat, you listen to the verses, it's crisp, it works. But I just don't know about this whole, let's just bring back Slim Shady because nostalgia sells. I don't understand that. I want to see more progression from Eminem, and it feels like he's kind of taken a step back to not Marshall Mathers, but Slim Shady. And who knows? I personally think it's not a mistake, but like, I think you can't resurrect an authentic version of Slim Shady. And this might be pretty close to getting an authentic version of Slim Shady as close as possible without going fully back. But you have to understand, Slim Shady was that mindset when he was on substances and on this other stuff, and when he was in D12, like, you know, he had proof there, and it was like D12 was like they had two personas each, you know? So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.